Starting our vlog 2 today. We are going to Rajajinagar to pick up something for my dad. Let's start. As usual, we are going in the left to fetch my beautiful ride. We start our ride with this beautiful vehicle, TVS Jupiter. And today we're going to talk about taxes in India, how they are so high, yet you get very least benefits when compared to other developed countries. Yeah, I understand India is a developing country, and you can't give all the benefits that a developed country has. But when you're paying so much tax in a developing country and you're not getting much in return, for example, you still don't get free education for your children, unlike developed countries. And of course, there are idiots driving everywhere, but gotta be careful. Alright, let's start. There is free healthcare, there is a lot of benefits in terms of medical and education when you are in a developed country like Europe. USA doesn't give much of health benefits, but it still gives education free. And of course, the roads are really well maintained for the kind of tax that they pay. They do get something in return, but the roads that we have here, at least in Bangalore, it's not that great, to be honest. And you can see why. The potholes here, bumpy rides. So if you are a rider every day in Bangalore, you understand that by the end of your ride, you'll have back pain. That's what you have to deal with for paying good high taxes in India and Bangalore in general. So yeah, what is the point of such high taxes? Like, it's not only like the salary tax. There is also the tax for the petrol, the road tax, the vehicle tax, and I can go on and on about the amount of taxes that we pay in GST and non-GST and state tax, central tax. My God, I think it almost takes up to 50% of your income. Generally it would take 30% off, if you are above the 15 lakhs or whatever limit. Even if you're below that, you're still paying closely about like 15 to 20%, and on top of that, you have to also pay the additional taxes like petrol. For the petrol you pay tax, for some food you pay tax, and whenever you're going out you pay some tax. Like, the taxes are never ending. I would say that there is no limit for the amount of taxes that you can pay. For the number of tax evasions that you can have, there is a limit, and that is also only for the business class and some of the people who are well versed with all the loopholes in the system. So when you have all those loopholes in mind, of course you can evade taxes by doing certain things, but a general common man, you don't have much options. And on top of it, when you don't get any benefits with crappy roads like this, and no free healthcare or no free education, it kind of sucks. But the one thing that I observed compared to other countries is you get faster healthcare in India. So I mean, that is still not something that the tax system directly is benefiting you for, but it's kind of like an indirect one, where a lot of people are studying medical, and there are too many hospitals and whatnot. So it's not a direct benefit from paying tax; it's just an indirect benefit. But yeah, it's the only pros that I can think of when compared to other countries. Like of course the population density in cities like this is really high. I mean, in other countries there is also, like New York for example, it's even more crowded, and Tokyo more crowded. But there's a system in all these different countries which leads you not to be stressed out with the density of population. But that's not the case in Bangalore and Mumbai and other Indian countries, because the system is not that great. You keep facing all these weird people going in weird ways, including me at times, because I get so frustrated with riding in Bangalore. So it's a spiral effect. You just keep on going and going and going until some proper system comes in place. But we can have that topic for another day, but today we'll keep going back to the tax. So yeah, as a person who is paying taxes on a lot of things, what is your opinion? Like, do you get enough benefits out of the Indian financial maintenance, or the way they manage your funds? Most of the funds are going into infrastructure, new infrastructure, and some of them going into farmers, and some of them going into other low class people for their benefits. And all that is good, because only when as a country you are growing every part of the population, you can grow as a bigger country. Otherwise, there is no point in just going on benefiting just the rich people. So yeah, helping the lower income class is a must, I would say. The best use of the tax income, because as a whole country you would benefit from it later on. But yeah, it should actually be used for oh god, such idiots. Be used for the good of these people, right? Like, you can't just show the funds are being used somewhere and just gulp it down your throat and be like, okay, yeah, this is our way the economic system works. That's not going to help anyone. So unless you as a citizen can hold someone responsible, as of now we can't exactly hold anyone responsible, because everyone just keeps saying like, that's how the system works, that's how the system works. So there is no actual way for you to go and ask someone like, hey, is there someone that we can keep accountable for all these funds that are being spent on certain things? So no one is actually going to respond to you as of now. So I think that is what should come into place, like an app or a certain forum where there is a lot of transparency with how the funds are being used and how much was being used, and a why explanation of why it costed so much. Sometimes they say it costed like 1,000 crores to do a flyover. Like, in reality, does it actually cost so much, or is there like a lot of hidden costs there? So all these hidden costs are going to build up eventually, right? So there should be accountability in a huge scale actually. If not, yeah, the hidden cost can keep on increasing, and no one knows where your money is going then. So that's not the way to operate a system or a country actually. So there is speculations that a lot of politicians are corrupt and whatnot, and there is also proof kind of for that, because you can see they start from a lower level and immediately they are like super rich. And how does that happen? By probably using black money. So yeah, all these things should come into account, and I think Modi ji is doing a lot of good work in terms of keeping people accountable to a certain extent, but there is only so much a man can do. He is bringing in new policies, but then there is a backlash in the parliament with certain things, like he wanted to bring in a certain process where each MP or MLA is accountable for a certain group and things like that, but it never came into practice because most of the people in the parliament were against it, and they kind of just voted it out. So unless as a whole system, a whole member of parliament, all the members of parliament actually should come together and say, okay, yeah, this is what we want to do to bring the country forward, I don't think it's going to happen. And with the current the people who are there in the politics right now, if they keep on going, I don't think it will change. Only change can be brought by getting in people who are not like the current people. So I mean that is the only way that I can think of that the system can get better. Like someone who is corrupt and their sons or their relatives go into the same position, like it's not going to change much. They have seen their fathers work that way, their uncles work that way, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is how the system works. We don't need such people. We want people who can actually bring in a change and say, okay, this is not acceptable, and we have to change this. And only if there is a strong group of people opposing people who are corrupt, only then there can be a real change, right? Otherwise, it can keep on going. So yeah, the tax as such, I think compared to Dubai and other places, there is a lot of tax. Dubai is such a tax haven, and almost 0% tax. Like that is super in terms of being a citizen in Dubai. Like, why would you want to leave a place like Dubai, which has amazing facilities, first of all? So there is good facilities, good roads, good infrastructure, and good healthcare, everything. And on top of it, they are almost 0% tax. Come on, who wouldn't want to be there? I mean, as an Indian citizen, you might need time to be a Dubai citizen, but I'm just saying, like, that is how you attract good citizens into your country, or at least let the citizens of India stay in India. How do you do that? By making sure that the tax is low, or at least justified, not low as such, at least justified. Like if you are taxing income people, like middle class or income people working in a job, like 30%, 20%, whatever the percentage that they pay, it has to be used for good things. Like you can't just gulp a lot of the citizens' money and be like, okay, yeah, this is necessary. Of course it's not necessary. So yeah, I think for a country like India, what is the best way for them to manage the tax money or the whole funds that they get collected from the citizens? Because at least as of now, I don't think so there is a good use of the money at all. Like I'm also one of those people who get frustrated, but I also want to think of the solution, right? How long will you be frustrated about something? You can't be frustrated forever that someone's not doing their work properly. You got to find a solution, and based on that solution, the others will adapt to it. So please let me know in the comments, like if you have any super solutions where the tax money can be made accountable to the people of India, and these politicians using it rightly. Like if there is a way that you can think of to do that, please do let me know in the comments. We can discuss about that, and also do another episode of this vlogging next time when we are working. Oh God. So yeah, I think there are other countries which do tax even more. Like for example, USA has around 35%, and Germany and other certain parts of Europe even goes up to like 42%. So 30% seems okay in that case, but there is also a huge benefit for those people who are paying taxes there, which is amazing infrastructure, amazing healthcare, amazing education system. Like first thing, education needs to be made free in India. Like there are so many schools charging almost, I'm saying the least money, which is like 1 lakh per year for a kid. Imagine the amount of money that you have to save up for your kids' education. This is a lot. At least it feels like a lot, because 1 lakh is not easy money. You're not a politician or a police or someone who can just take money out of somewhere and just put it for your kids' education. Most people have to save up for it. So how do you work a situation where there is almost like 1 to 2 lakhs an average fees? I mean, there are even more fees that I have not interested to discuss, because some schools have even like 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs per year kind of fees, and not to mention the other extra costs that they add up, like going to trips and some additional costs, things like that. So yeah, raising a kid is becoming very, very expensive in Bangalore and India as well, I think, because I'm sure like there are other cities which are charging more for the school fees as well. So do let me know in the comments if you are anywhere outside of Bangalore, like how much fees that you pay for your kid in your city, and if you are also from Bangalore, like what is the crazy amount of money that you have heard someone pay for their school's fees. Like do let me know in the comments. We will discuss about all these if needed in the next vlog. And healthcare, I would say it's not very bad. The costs, at least compared to USA, the costs in USA are too much for healthcare. So yeah, the Indian healthcare cost is comparatively less, because if you have a good health insurance and you have like at least a minimum of 5 lakh money that is coming out of that premium, then you're at least in a safe position when things go wrong. But yeah, if it goes too wrong, then no more amount of money is enough. But for an average situation where it's not a lot, I think 5 lakh as a premium should be good. But that is not enough in USA, so it's kind of a very tricky situation in the United States, because oh god, the buses can stop anywhere, man. In Bangalore, I think they gotta stop this BMTC K57F 1960 89E. He just stopped in the middle of nowhere. This is not a bus stop, but come on, this is the things that I'm talking about, which can frustrate you as a citizen in Bangalore. There is no system for a traffic, for even a public service like a bus. I mean, an auto doing this, you would think, okay, there is no control board or someone who is managing them, but a bus can be managed, or a bus is managed, and yet there are people who do such kinds of things. So yeah, there are a lot of reasons why you can be frustrated in Bangalore, but let's see the good in this, which is, oh god, amazing climate always. Unlike certain parts of the world where it's cold for 6 months and hot for a lot of other months and things like that, Bangalore has that almost ideal weather, which makes it really worth it to be here. Certain small things have to change, and then life becomes so better. Like it's not even like a huge amount of effort to make people's life better in Bangalore. It's just small things like a good traffic management and some other. I think traffic management is the first thing. Like if they make that better, and also the roads. Oh yeah, traffic and roads becomes better, and the cost of living also is a little too much these days. Like you go outside anywhere now, like god, you end up spending almost like $1,000 just for two of you in a decent restaurant, not even like a good one, like an average decent one, and you have to pay a lot. So yeah, cost of living somehow has to come down, and that is another topic that we can think of. Do let me know in the comments if you have any solutions for this also, because the more we discuss about this, someone else might catch it, and they might actually do something about it. So we are going to bring the change that we want to see. That is a nice initiative, I would think, working for the cause that we have found issues in, and bringing solutions. That is amazing, I would say. Okay, coming into a signal. And someone just threw a cigarette butt on the road. Yeah, I think there also has to be a good management of the garbage in India generally. Like I keep seeing a lot of reels where people are throwing plastic in mountains and treks and everywhere. Like such a bad way to treat nature that has given you so much, right? Really, like if not for nature, you wouldn't have had this good air to breathe. So I mean, Bangalore already is facing that bad air. You're already suffocating with the amount of bad air in Bangalore. So more trash, more pollution. It's not going to help the situation. So we all have to do our little bit part as well in making small changes for this country, because otherwise you can't always depend on the politicians and be like, okay, they have to do something. They can't ask you to throw trash in a particular bin. It's your responsibility to do that. So as a citizen, there are certain things that you have to do, and as a government, there are certain things you have to do. So that's why I said it's a spiral, right? Because the government is not doing much. So what happens is the citizens also, they kind of don't do much, because they are blaming the government. The government is blaming the people. So it just keeps on going and going and going. It never ends. How does one bring justice here, or a proper way of working here, by at least someone taking action? And of course it's not going to be the government doing the first action, so it has to be you. It has to be you. It has to be you. Otherwise the government will never care. It's us who are suffering from all of this. So the more and more you wait for the government to take action, the more and more you will just be waiting. When it never comes in, I have to take a left here and stop at Narayan Netralaya, and we'll continue this discussion when I get back. See for Inside the lift of Narayan Letrala, it looks pretty fancy actually. I wasn't expecting them to be so good. We have collected our spectacle, which is this, and heading to my dad's house now. It's a little sunny today. I know I was talking about good weather in Bangalore, but it's not that hot or anything. Like, it's just a little sunny because all these days it was like so cold, and all of a sudden, even just a little bit of sun is too much. I think climate should come in phases, like a little hot, and then it gets sunny like this. But of course, nature doesn't listen to us. Nature has its own way of working. And off we go to Rajajinagar now. And let's finish our topic about the tax. And also, the school fees. Like, I was asking you guys to think about or comment about all the extravagant fees that you have heard of or are paying for your own children. Like, why is it so much? Like, when I was a kid, the fees were about 1,000 or even lesser actually. 1,000, you can just keep 1,000 as an average, right? So that is about 12,000 bucks a year. And how did we get from 12,000 a year to 1 lakh? That is just the lower average. I mean, it's even more actually. Hold on. So let's just keep it as 1.5 to 2 lakh. So if it's 2 lakh a year, how did we get to this stage? That is my question actually. Because it makes no sense for someone who were in their school up till 2006. So what? It's been 2 decades. So let's keep it as that. It's even been 2 decades. In 2 decades, the change in the fees is almost, I don't even know if it's considered a 10x or a 100x, but like, what is this price, man? Like, 12,000 to 1.5, more than 10x actually. So how did we get here, and what would be the reason for this according to you guys? Because it makes no sense to be here in this stage, because the salaries weren't 10,000 and increased to 1 lakh now. It was a little bit more, so you could save money before, right? Saving was a good option back then, but not anymore. You want to save now? God damn. Hope God helps you in all way. But there is still good options to invest. So the only option now is to invest somewhere which can increase the amount of money that you have ultimately. Because if you don't invest, it's the inflation is going to kick it off, and all your savings is gone to shit. So investing is definitely needed. Just think of good ways to invest, because you can't just abruptly invest in everything. And I think there are a lot of options to invest right now, and too many financial influencers giving you all sorts of examples of where to invest. So you just follow someone who you think is genuine, and just go along with it. Like, do your own research as well. Just don't blindly follow any financial influencer. Even they say the same thing. Don't follow us blindly. Do some research, but they'll definitely guide you in the right direction to do the research, because otherwise you are just lost in this whole sea of investment options. And some idiots. Oh God, so many idiots we encounter on the road. I think we should make that also as a game, like idiot number 1, idiot number 2, and just see how many idiots we encounter. just riding my scooter makes me so tired in Bangalore, and I don't understand how you guys ride cars or drive cars in Bangalore, because I'm sure it's even more hectic to keep your eyes on all the four directions, right? I mean, we as two-wheelers can easily just, you know, go on the left or on the right and somehow escape a bit of traffic at least. We wouldn't need to stand as much as a car would need to. So, yeah, I pity you guys driving cars in Bangalore. I'm not saying switch to a two-wheeler. I'm just saying that, you know, little things that can make a lot of impact is having stricter parking rules. Like, for example, just don't park it outside the white line. Like, for example, this car here, right? There is no line. First of all, okay, there is a clear line here for this blue car, but it's outside. It's outside here. This one's outside. The Fortuner is almost inside. So that's at least a good indication that they wanna, help out the traffic. Most of these guys are outside the line. Like, it makes no sense why the line is there. First of all, and yeah, I think the whole point is that there is not many people who are there to ask you why you are doing this. There is no certain entity in the government body which comes to a residential area like this and asks people as to why they are, parking outside the line. There is no one. So that's what I mean by, a developed nation and a developing nation chaos. Because definitely it's a lot. I mean, the chaos in India especially is a lot for traffic, for people management. Like, even in some BMTC lines or any place where there is a line, people very casually just skip the line. Like, why do you think we are waiting here? Do you think your time is more important than the other people who are waiting in line? That is a bad attitude, first of all, to have. So yeah, if you are one of them watching this, don't do that. And if you are the ones who stand in line like everyone else, good job. You are actually the ones who are going to improve India. Otherwise, if everyone just starts acting like them, skipping lines, then there is no order, right? It's even more chaos then. So don't create chaos. Try to follow as much traffic rules and other rules. And the best part about Rajajinagar for me is this canopy of trees that you can see in front of us. Amazing. The air is really cool here. That's why trees are important. Like, that's why so much of green is important. Even in a city, I understand that there are too many cars and too much road widening happening and all that nonsense going on. But trees should still be preserved, or more trees should be planted. How else are you going to provide shelter from or shade from the sun to the common people? It's not ideal to build tents or places where people can stand in the shade. Like, this whole world has a shade. That is what nature can give you. I mean, unless you can beat nature in its amazing design, don't destroy nature. Because once destroyed, it takes years, lots of years to get it back to that stage. And yeah, it's gonna harm the people who are in this era. So it's not gonna be easy for them. And we we are near my dad's house, so we'll drop off the package and get moving again. Hopefully, we'll talk a lot more about tax in detail. Let's see. Bye bye. Alright, heading back to my house now. My mom gave me some dosa batter. Kind of her will be good for us for at least 10 dosas. That's a nice thing. A gift. Mothers itself are God's gift, they would say. Yeah, grateful for my mom giving me things every time when I come here. Usually things to eat. Alright, let's start. So back to the tax. Yeah, I mean it's easy to compare, Dubai and other countries which are already developed, but yeah, we have to reach there somehow, right? Otherwise, if we don't ever think about solutions to reach there, then how are we going to make it happen? So, yeah, I would say follow some good transparency. I think transparency is the best thing that can help us to, as citizens, to track down all the money that we are giving, in a way that also helps us to not feel so bad about paying so much taxes. If we know exactly okay, the money is going here and here and here, and it's for a good cause in a way, then yeah, you will feel bad about it, right? I mean, at least not as much as now, where most of the accusations are just about politicians eating all the money, and that doesn't sit well. So if you have at least a slight clue as to where the money is going, it would definitely help a great deal to understand what you as a citizen are doing for this country by paying your taxes. And yeah, and also, man, another huge issue I forgot to talk about is how there is only such a small portion of the Indian population which pays tax. I mean, income tax for your income, not GST. GST is almost paid by everyone. So, the amount of people who pay taxes for their income is very, very low compared to any other country. I mean, at least any other big countries that I have come across. So China also being one of the bigger populations, they also have a lot of people who pay income taxes, but in India it's hardly 3 to 4%. So the 3 to 4% cannot in any way pay enough taxes to uplift the country's economic needs. So that has to improve. So one solution I would definitely find there is for more of the women to come into the workforce. That would definitely help the Indian economy as a whole. And also, one part of the population which doesn't pay taxes are the farmers. I don't know if it's a good thing to tax the farmers because they're always facing issues with famine and no rain and either excess rain, no rain. So there are a lot of issues as a farmer, right? You're not exactly making a lot of money. At least the bigger general population of farmers are not making enough money, but I think a good place to start would be someone who is well off in terms of income. There has to be a really good way to judge these income levels of different classes. Currently, there is no way that you can actually, hold a citizen accountable for the amount of money they have. Somehow there is a lot of black money in circulation, which can they can skip the whole line of income tax and other things that they have to pay, and a lot of loopholes. So yeah, one is having good accountability for farmers, or I wouldn't even call them farmers. They're like rich people with agricultural land. So they are the ones who can be taxed. I think that would be a great place to start, because even if that increases the the income tax by about even just 1% in a whole, like as of now it's just 3 to 4%, and then it becomes 5% or even 6%. That's a great start, I would say. It's not bad at all, considering there is only 3 to 4%. Like every percent that you can add to the India's economy, that's a great place to start. And I think GST itself was a good thing, I would say, because most of the population was getting out of paying taxes with all these loopholes, and so GST kind of wrapped them all in one place, and they did collect a lot of money because of GST. I read that it was somewhere about 28,000 crores last year or something like that. So yeah, that's a good chunk of money that can be used for India's development, I would say. So yeah, if it is used for the development. So yeah, I think Nitin Gadkari is definitely making amazing progress in the infrastructure development, like the roads that he's taking care of being built, and the expressways. Really great initiative by the BJP government members there. Like, I wouldn't give credit to all of them, but definitely give credit to Modi ji, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, and the foreign affairs minister. I forgot his name. I've seen him in a lot of interviews, but I don't know if it's a general misconception for Nirmala Sitharaman that she's hated by the usual public. Somehow even I'm going towards the hate word for her, but I don't think she's the only one who is responsible for making economic decisions, right? Of course, it's a whole board. She's just the face of it. So I think she gets a lot of backlash for that. So I feel pity for her. She's not taking all the money from us for her individual needs or anything. It's the government which is taking that money, and it's the government board which is approving all these tax things that she gets out. The budget for every year is not completely in her hand. There is no way that she can take the whole of the decision. So it's wrong for someone to be blamed for a decision which is cumulative. But yeah, she's the face of it, and a lot of people hate her for that. I don't think she alone can do anything about it. Even if she decides and says, okay, I am not for it anymore, I think it's not going to work. Someone else will come on the board and she'll do the same thing. So yeah, I think it's more of taxing the rich people. Somehow there has to be a way that ultra rich are taxed. Somehow they get off from paying a lot of tax, like Ambani and others who are like these super rich, ultra rich. I don't even know how much rich can the word rich give meaning for them, but they're like mega rich. I don't even know the word. So yeah, taxing them a lot would help, but again the dilemma there is, if you start taxing all these big industrialists and businessmen, why would they stay in the country, and why would they help the country, right? So yeah, that is the dilemma. That is why they get all these good tax breaks and whatnot, because the government doesn't want them to stop providing jobs to the people. If they stop providing jobs to the people, then the people have nowhere else to go work. So in a way, they are given these tax breaks to stay in the country and provide, but I think they do take a little bit of the advantage. So yeah, I mean, it's up to each person's own conscience, man. me and you can sit and talk all we want here. It's not going to reach till Mukesh Ambani or Adani, and they are not going to change overnight and be like, oh yeah, this is the right thing. We should pay more taxes. Of course, they're not going to think that way. But yeah, there should be a strategic way where they are also taxed at least equally to a common man. Usually, most of the businesses get a lot of write-offs, a lot of loopholes for them to save money on taxes. So much has to be reduced in order to give that equal share, right? Yeah, I mean, if they don't want to pay equal share, that's understandable, but at least very close to what a common man pays, that would at least increase the amount of taxes being collected by the government. So there are like all these little changes that I am talking about, which I think is going to help. But of course, you, the viewer, will have even more solutions, amazing solutions. Do comment them, because the more we talk about this, I feel someone will pick it up and start working on towards them. So the change can be brought by us. So do comment, make sure you are providing your valuable opinion. Not only here, everywhere else that you can provide your opinion, like on a government forum or a website, wherever it is possible. We as common men who are aware of solutions should not keep quiet. It is only us who can bring change to this country. I mean, Modi ji can only do so much. He's doing amazing work. I really hope he stays for the whole 4 years and not retire into, because I am very skeptical. Skeptical. I don't know why I had that tongue twist moment. I'm very skeptical about who's going to come next, because I'm not seeing much of the other BJP parties workers do anything. Like Nitin Gadkari, they are saying he's not going to be in position because he's very much into the road developments and things like that. So that I don't know what option does that leave us with. So I would rather have a known face in the power, because that would at least make sure you are in safe hands. So I want to be in safe hands, definitely. So I'm hoping that Modi will continue the next 4 years as well, like without retiring. There is a retirement rule or something which was brought about by the BJP itself. So I hope they can bypass that only for Mr. Modi ji, because he's been such an amazing candidate, a PM. Like, I have at least seen the nation come into more light from the time he's become PM. So whoever is doing this amazing PR work, like, kudos to you guys as well. I mean, I'm damn sure whoever comes next will do that amazing work, but I think it takes time to build any kind of image, right? It's not going to be overnight, and it's also very bad economic crisis right now. So Modi ji retiring would, put more fuel to that fire, which I don't want. We are already facing a lot of issues with the whole economic breakdown and whatnot, the recession. So hopefully the recession doesn't hit us soon or ever. I don't want the recession to hit us at all. But it's only the hopes of a common man, but it's never going to be enough. So I'm not sure what even Modi ji can do in terms of recession, but I think at least he would be capable enough to handle that compared to anyone else in the cabinet. So might want someone who has a good image and good power to stay in power without much more issues being caused in times of recession. And speaking of recession, I mean, I'm not sure how India is going to collect taxes in the recession time, because a lot of people are going to get laid off if that's going to happen. So it's gonna be a lot of spiral effect again. Uh, Life is all about this spiral effect. That's what I've observed. One thing causes another, and that causes another, and it goes on and on and on. There is never a stop. Usually, it only slowly, gradually gets better, but when it goes down very fast. So, just like the stock market today, as of 5th August, the stock market was down by about 2.7% the last time I saw it. Might be it's even more now. Yeah, but it took like almost a week to come up 2.7% and just a day for going down. So I'm not a huge fan of things like that. It's the more of foreign investors and investors' money, but also the retail investors like us get hit a lot. I think the foreign investors can take the hit, being big, investors and whatnot. We can't. Hopefully, there is a lot of better tax systems or process which comes into place. Do let me know in the comments of any solutions that you know. That's it for today. Have fun. See you again next time. Bye bye.